Friday, what we did is we solved some polynomials and found all the roots. So today we're going to do that, but we're going to have another step in here. We're going to factor and find the roots, and then one factor has been given. Okay, so this x minus 3 is a factor. So the way we would start is we'd set x minus 3 equal to 0, and we get x equals what? 3. And then we're going to use synthetic division because it's faster. So can I get somebody to tell me what we get for, yeah.
Yeah, drag the one.
Yep. Uh-huh.
6. Oh, that's it. No.
It's okay.
I'm not sure. Isn't it 1?
3 times 1?
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong
That's okay.
thing.
3.
0.
Okay, so
If
if x minus 3 is a factor, what should we get for our remainder? So if x minus 3 is a factor, what should we get for our remainder?
0.
0. Remember, we had that as a question before. It was on the quiz. We did that as a lesson. So we got 0. We got 0 here. So we did that right. So that's one of your checks as you're going along. So now we're going to write what our answer is. We have x to the third. We divide it by x, and we get x. What's x to the third divided by x?
X2.
X squared. So we have x squared plus, what goes after the 2? 2x plus 1 is 0. So now what do we do next here?
No idea. Why do you divide?
So we wanted to know what we got, what we have left when we divide by this x minus 3. What is it that we want to find our other roots? And that's how we have to do it, by dividing by that. So now, what do we do next? What do we do with the x squared plus 2x plus 1? Yes,
We factor it.
we factor. How do we factor it, you know?
1.
That's right. We make our x. It's a trinomial. What multiplies to 1 that adds to 2?
Huh? Oh.
1 and 1. So x plus 1 times x plus 1 is 0. So we have x plus 1 is 0. And what do we get for our answer? X is negative 1. And then we get negative 1 again. So, what was that? So if it was x equals square root negative 1. So my roots are negative 1, and 3. Where did the 3 come from? That's right. So one of the factors has been given. Really easy to forget to add that one. How many roots do we have? 3. What's the degree of my polynomial? 3. So they should match. Remember, those should always be the same. If it's not, you've done something wrong. So that's why we have to. So my degree for the polynomial, the highest exponent is 3.
Yeah.
And there are 1, 2, 3 roots. Has to be the same. So see, we had that negative 1 that repeated. We have to list it twice. We can't just list it once. Because it's a root twice. So now the other part of this is we're going to factor it. So we're going to write the factors. So my factors are, I'm going to go back to here. X plus 1 times x plus 1 times x minus 3. So I have 2 parts to my answer. I have both the factored form and I have the roots.
If we don't do this factor, we'll be marked down.
You need to do both. Yeah, so this is, the factors are part of there, does that look more like a 0 instead of an 8? The factors are a big part of the standard.
Oh, so you have to do the factors too?
You do. Okay, so how do we start on number 6?
Synthetic.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to move this down, and I'm going to move this down. I'm finding that the board works better if on the left side. Okay, so I take x plus 2, set it equal to 0. And I get this from here. Tell me what I get when I set x plus 2 equal to 0.
-2.
Yes? So what do I do with that -2? Yeah. Lots of different parts. It's bringing a lot of things together. 2, 1, -26, and -40. So Yusuf, your group, tell us what the numbers are that go in there for synthetic division.
All right, so you go down, and you have 2 times -1, -4. Subtract 4 from 1, you have 8, -3. And then -3 times -2. 2 times 3 is a 6. So you add 6 to that, and then it's positive 20. Or no, -20, sorry. And -2 times -20 is plus 40, and you have 0 at the end.
Good, and we want 0, right? Okay, so Kristen, tell us what the answer is.
2x
2x.
2x squared minus 3x minus 20 over.
Okay, so now what do we do with that?
You do the x.
We're going to do the x again because it's a trinomial and it's a quadratic. So we have, what number do we put on the top?
-40.
Good, -40. The 2 times the -20 and -3. So what numbers work there?
No.
These are problems that take a lot of time. I need you guys to be quiet or else I'm going to have to double the assignment.
Ooh.
I'm talking that's going on. It's not polite. So what multiplies to -40 that adds to -3?
-8.
Yep. So x minus 8, x plus 5. What next? Be careful. Common mistake here. What next?
Divide by 2.
Good. Divide by 2 because we multiplied 2 times -20. X minus 4, 2x plus 5. Did somebody say I'm confused?
No.
Okay. So we get x equals 4 and -5 over 2. Yeah.
Why is it 2x plus 5 here? Why is it?
So remember when we make this x,
Multiply that by 2, but it doesn't have to divide 5 by 2. Why is it 2x multiplied by 2?
so we don't want decimals, we want whole numbers there when we're factoring. So we slide this 2 to the front, so it becomes 2x plus 5.
So 3 numbers.
So we've been doing that for a while. Now you don't have to factor this way. If you have another way you'd like to factor, you can.
Okay.
But the factors come out the same.
Okay.
Yes.
So is our answer just 4?
So no, our answer is going to be 4, -5/2, and what else? And the -2. So there's 1, 2, 3, 3 solutions. Now our factored form is going to be x minus 4,
X minus 5 over 2.
2x plus 5, and x plus 2.
Why is it 2x?
So I just got my factors from here. Yeah. So what do we notice about those factors and the signs on our answer? So our solutions, 4, -5/2, and -2, x minus 4, 2x plus 5, x plus 2. What's happening with our signs and our factors? They're different. What are they? They're a straight relationship. What are they? What's the? So if I have, thanks. What's the relationship between these pairs? They're opposites. So notice X minus 4, X is 4. Negative 2, X plus 2. They're opposites there. They'll always be that if you've done that right. Okay, next one. So we're going to start by setting X plus 5 equal to 0. We get X equals negative 5. Back there, do a synthetic division for us.
It would be bring down the 1.
Uh-huh.
It would be 5 times negative 1. So then under the 6 would be negative 5. Which would be 1. And negative 5 again. Would be negative 2. Positive 10. Would be negative 2. And then positive 10 so it would be 0.
Good. And that's what we want. We want to get 0. If you don't get 0, you've done something wrong because you know it's a factor. It's given to be a factor. Good question. So we want to write now what our answer is. We have x to the 4th divided by x. Again, we're taking our first term here, dividing it by the first term here. And what do we get? X to the 3rd. So this would be x to the 3rd plus
Negative 2x.
so our exponents go down by
1.
1. So this is going to be 1x squared or x squared. I know this is one of the hardest parts of the synthetic division. And then what would be the next term then, Cohen? Negative 2. So we have x cubed, x squared, then
I thought we go the other way.
x minus 2x, and then no x on this one. So minus 2 equals 0. Does that make sense?
I thought we go
No, on those exponents we go from left to right, we go down.
just on these ones.
Uh-huh.
On the warm up, I want that.
So on the warm-up, that's the way you do it too.
See, you go.
Yep, highest. Yeah, your exponent goes high to low. Thank you.
No.
So how do we factor this?
Negative 2 to negative 2. Right? Okay, you right?
Yes. What tells us that we need to factor by grouping?
4 terms.
4 terms. So Derek, can you tell us what we factor out of each one? And what are you left with? Good. And negative 2, and left with x plus 1. And so my 2 factors, don't forget to do the next step. What would the next step be? This group. Derek did the last one. You 2 answer the next part.
The x squared minus 2.
Yep.
The x plus 1.
Good.
Equals 0.
Yep. Okay, so let's solve that over here. X squared minus 2 is 0. X plus 1 is 0.
Add the 2 over.
We add 2. X squared is 2. What next?
Then whoa.
Before that?
You gotta do the square root.
Yes. We're going to get 2 answers.
Negative root 2 and root 2.
Yeah, square root 2 and negative square root 2. And then x equals negative 1 here. So my roots are square root 2, negative square root 2, negative 1, and negative 5. It makes sense where that negative 5 comes from?
Yeah, so essentially this is just a combination of everything we're doing this semester.
Exactly. It's a combination of a ton of stuff. Exactly. You're right. It's all these different parts. You're right, Yusuf. So we have x squared minus 2 times x plus 1 times x plus 5. And those are the 2 parts of our answer. Okay, one more. Try to go quickly through this. I know because there's all different types. So x minus 5 equal to 0.
Yeah, I thought.
Okay, so this one's a little different. What do you do with those zeros there?
I don't know. You just make them.
All right, take x to the 5th divided by x, and it is x to the 4th. So x to the 4th, I have 0 x to the 3rd. Do I need to put anything there for x to the 3rd? No. So it's going to be plus 2x squared. No x's.
-3.
Minus 3 is 0. How do I factor that? So that's the other kind of factoring.
X thingy.
Like you just said, bring everything together that we've done this so far this unit.
Oh.
How do we factor this?
Oh, -3.
So we're going to make an x. What multiplies to -3 that adds to 2? 3 and -1. So x squared plus 3. X squared minus 1. Okay. Okay, so what do we do with the x squared plus 3? Pay attention, because there's minus 3. We have x squared equals -3. What next? Square root. And what is that answer? Let's go back here. What do we get for the square root of -3? I know, it's bringing stuff together. Very good. I square root 3. What's your second one?
-I.
Negative I square root 3.
Wait, how come we didn't do that on the last one?
Because it wasn't a negative, it was a positive. So when we have a square negative inside the square root,
Oh.
yeah, good question. So then we get plus 1. X squared is 1. What next? What do we do next?
Square root 1.
Square root. What is the square root of 1? 1. I'm getting a lot of people writing square root 1 is the answer. Square root of 1 is 1, right? So write it as 1. And then okay, so my roots are 1, -1, I square root 3, negative I square root 3. What's my 5th root? 5 from up here. And then my factored form, x squared plus 3 times x squared minus 1 times x minus 5. Yeah, a lot of parts to it.